seasonal theme.
Yeah.
We're pivoting.
Yeah, absolutely.
3 weeks before lunch.
Yeah, sure. Sound off in the comments if you want zombie season. Let's hear it. Okay, so that's the second thing. You'll have access to your mount that you unlock. And then the last thing is that there's as you're playing through the as you probably played as part of like the open betas that we've done, and we'll see again in SummerSlam. You'll find these altars of Lilith throughout the world.
Server slam.
What did I say?
Server slam.
Completely a slip, everybody. It's nothing to do with SummerSlam. So yeah, during the server slam, wow, I really did, didn't I? So during the server slam, you're gonna be finding altars of Lilith throughout the world, and when you collect these, you get two things. One, you're beginning renown, which is going to be basically used to get a number of different, rewards for your characters on that realm from that zone. So new skill points, new healing potion charges, things like that you got a chance to see before. Right. But you also get a permanent stat boost, for all characters on your account.
One of the main reasons to go after the altars.
Yeah, right. But we don't want you to need to necessarily go after them every single
to go and
collect all of these. We think it's really fun, particularly the first time to go and find all of these things. Right. So once you get that stat boost the first time,
we're gonna watch this developer video. I didn't realize this was on. Otherwise, I would have probably started the stream as soon as I got off work. But you can watch it now.
You don't need to go get every Altar of Lilith to finish off the renown track in each one of these zones.
Sure, it's like the season journey. You don't have to do everything in the renown track to get all the renown. You can do it. Maybe I want to do. Maybe strongholds are my favorite feature, so I can lean into stronghold. But the idea of going and finding an altar to add more renown to the pool to progress, I can still do that. Like
Absolutely.
I can still go find them if I want to.
Yeah, and you get a little bit of experience for doing it as well. So yeah, they're still kind of fun to stumble across as part of your regular play experience within a season. You just don't have to get them all again if you don't want to. There's other things you can do instead.
Okay, so I think we covered what sticks around.
That's right.
So that's great.
But like the entries in your Codex of Power are going to reset, so you're going to have to go find those aspects again.
Go to the dungeons.
Yeah, go to the dungeons again. So yeah, those are the things that are reset.
Yep.
Great. Okay, so that definitely great long-term. That was really on topic, actually, in terms of long-term progression, because it actually is long-term progression.
Yeah, by the letter of the law, it's long-term progression. So yeah, Rod's 100% correct. Thank you.
But when you think about what else the seasons provide an opportunity for, like you talked about, like all these things. Okay, we have a new quest line, we have new mechanics, we have all this progression, but it's also an opportunity to kind of react to player feedback and also what you're seeing in terms of the data coming in terms of balance or things that maybe we need to smooth out and sand down.
Yeah, absolutely. So we know that operating a live service game with Diablo 4 after the game launches and seasons come out. That is going to be basically, it's the best versions of this are just a conversation with the player base as we play, and a conversation with the community as we play. So as we're going to be receiving feedback and we're seeing how certain features and content is performing, that gives us opportunities to sort of like respond to that feedback and react to it with updates to the game. Now, things take lead time, so if we see immediately after launch that there's something that we could maybe make an improvement on, it's tough to like immediately and very quickly turn around like big changes. But we want to make sure that we are carefully iterating to make Diablo 4 the best version of itself that it can be as we go. So.
Yeah, and this is like it brings up to the point like where we just had betas and we literally took the feedback that we got from the community, which we obviously super appreciative of because it just makes a better game in the end of the day, and people will actually be able to experience those changes from the beta in the server slam weekend this coming weekend because of that feedback. So players providing feedback
Tears of the Kingdom,
on forums,
y'all.
on Reddit, social media. We're always reading through all of that stuff to have that. So yeah.
And I think it's worth mentioning too in terms of the way that, like, in order to have a game that has seasons all the time, and sort of this, like having quarterly seasons, you're not like once season 1 launches, we start season 2. Like season 2 has to be pretty much like very much in flight, and that's what I think Joe was talking about around the idea that we're going to be as responsive as we can. So if there's a bug, or especially if it's something we can fix on the server, like we'll do things quickly. Yeah. But if there's a big change, it may take a season to get there, just because season 2 is already mostly in the can by the time season 1 is.
That's how game development works, everyone.
What? Yeah. You're developing things ahead of time? Unbelievable. That's why we know we have zombies.
It doesn't seem like it. They joke about that.
In terms of patience and understanding is like the way
they joke about that, but
you're basically having
it doesn't seem like that. Let's be honest, everybody. We've all played video games where we have definitely not felt like they thought ahead. It was just like, all right, this makes sense. Let's go. Like, sometimes it doesn't seem like there's forethought in that.
One thing we saw is in season 3 because it was big enough to require that time.
Yep.
So just
I'll be
that's-
right back.
just
I'll leave this
understand
up. I'll be
how
right
that's
back.
all working.
Yeah, so like reacting to bug fixes and other things, that's going to be another really big part of the live service team's job, right? So like everything we're doing within the seasons, we want to make sure that we're constantly responding to that kind of feedback from players and kind of making the game better as time goes on.
Well, the other part of the season is like, we've got a lot of positive response on our character creation. And it would be great to get Kagan back in to talk about sort of how we think about customization during the season, because we know maybe talk a little bit about what you can actually find in the world, but also, what we're excited about with the shop.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the game is full of hundreds of incredible transmogs, that you'll unlock just by salvaging gear. And the transmogs in the game really give you this this power, this sense of like visceral power progression for your character.
Right.
And so
Seasonal content.
they're meant to really like bring that to life, grounded in Diablo's story and its world and its lands. And what the shop offers is a lot of diversity. So like the way that we wanted diversity of like the fantasies
Sure.
that you can experience and that you can express. So the way that we wanted to support the development of the seasons was to, add things to the game that players would appreciate. To create art and beautiful things that are grounded in Diablo 4's world and its art style, but provide this like array of class fantasies. And so for example, if you want to be like a thunder goddess as a sorceress, or you want to be a big barbarian that like rips the tongues out of your enemies and puts them on your armor.
Very specific. That was very
I
specific.
like it though. That's good.
Slightly
Yeah.
unsettling, but very
Yeah.
specific.
Yeah. perfect.
You can, the shop is going to help provide a lot of this like diversity in the types of fantasies, and then you can take all those pieces and mix and match them with the cool stuff that you find in the game to express yourself all kinds of ways.
Yeah, I think one fun thing about this too, like players got a chance.
The
Like I saw,
tongue ripping, is that the fun thing? Is that-
There's-
absolutely,
yeah, tongue
absolutely.
ripping.
But no, I was actually going to talk about. I was going to talk about our previous betas. We got a chance to see a lot of players making really cool-looking customized characters in the game, and all of the gear they're collecting, it's still very low-level gear. Like there's much more stuff to go find.
Wait, there's
Yeah,
more
wait
beyond
till
level
you get
20?
to the end game.
There's a lot more looks and appearances to find as you're progressing through more of the game.
One of the things I love about the equipment that's in the game is that we actually do regional themed armor and such.
Oh, here we go.
Well,
So
this
the shop
not-
is
Here's our
going to be
side-by-side.
completely
This
This is not
cosmetic,
to
is
my
what they're
point, but
implying.
it's fine. It's good to speak to your point. Maybe all I was going to say quickly before, so Kay can come back and talk
Yeah.
about this. But I just think it's really cool that we have like regional looks, like the notion of like, oh, there's a there's like a Howzar look, and there is a Fractured Peaks look, and
Yeah.
and that kind of thing. That is kind of interesting. That when you go into a particular zone in the world and you start collecting loot, you're actually picking up pieces that are of that zone, so you can actually dress more like a person from that zone. if you
Oh,
want.
that's cool. I didn't
Right,
realize
particularly
that.
with the legendary gear when you're leveling up 100%. Yeah, so there's a lot more to discover even after that as you get into world tiers and more.
Did you want to, Kagan? You want to talk us through some of the
Yeah,
examples?
let's take a look at some of the shop armors.
This is tongue ripping, right?
Yeah, there's
No,
you can
no,
see
no.
blood right out of the mouth, right there.
I don't know if the names are final, but this guy, I think his name is Death Raven, the shop guy. But
Tight.
yeah, so you can see.
That's
sort
pretty
of
neat.
like
I mean,
a
as long as it's
side-by-side of,
cosmetic and not
in-game
pay to
armor
win,
for the barb
that's a
versus,
big
like, the
thing.
shop armor.
I think I just want to one thing. I think it's so funny that we accidentally got these really awesome poses for the in-game armors,
know.
and all the shop armors are just a person standing.
Deadpan.
Like this was, I just wanna
checking
call it-
his
this
look in
wasn't-
the mirror.
This
Like,
wasn't
you're not gonna
completely
guess.
intentional, but it was a funny.
It was
funny thing
totally
that
an
happened.
accident. It's because
Yeah.
two different teams made the,
Yeah,
the
it's-
pictures.
It's,
But yeah,
it's just funny. It's all.
but yeah, let's look through some of the other side by sides. But again, see
She's
the
very
sorceress.
excited to have found
She's
the
like,
armor.
oh, I'm here. And then we have one of my favorites from the shop there. Oh yes, and
Ooh.
this is rogue side by side. So you
The
can
rogue
see,
looks
I think,
dope.
The shop rogue here is called Deathwalker. So keep an eye out for tons of really cool, diverse
I love the
fantasies in the
tassets.
shop.
I love the tassets
Bro.
in the game armor, and I love the pauldrons on the shop.
Bruh.
The word
So cool.
tacet. I didn't
Both of
There's
those are
honestly, like,
I've
fire.
been in fantasy games
The
for a long time.
MTX is focused on collection.
What the
right?
fuck?
Like,
That
it's
is
not like we're trying to,
ridiculous.
like, put only the cool stuff in one channel or
I don't
the
know,
other.
chat.
There's stuff. There's
That
awesome
makes
stuff
me
to
want to
collect
play Rogue
from
just
the
on its
game.
own right there. Just
And
seeing
like
that.
you said earlier, like,
Oh,
mix and
is that
match,
Necro?
create your
That's
own
Necro.
fantasy.
Oh,
See,
both
that's
of those are
talking
pretty
about
fire
Necro.
too.
But,
Actually,
like, for example,
Yeah.
if I really like the in-game.
One on
look,
the
but
left.
I want that. the shop helmet, like when I buy that armor set, I can take that helmet and apply it to my in-game if I want.
That's true.
That's right,
You can
and you
just
can dye
transmog.
everything.
Man,
I can
and
make
I love that
it
they're going to have
Yeah, you
transmogging
can
in
dye
this. That's
everything
so
from
dope.
the shop
They had it
into
in
the
3.
game.
I didn't realize that. I played that
in
kind of
the
recently,
palette,
and
so yeah.
I forgot they had transmog in
Yeah, if you
that.
haven't had a chance to check that out during Server Slam, you should make sure that you get a chance to play the wardrobe and try dyeing some gear.
Yep.
Yeah. So that's customization, and then one more thing is related to customization, not tied to appearances and looks, which I think we already have a good coverage on. But you will also be adding new like legendary powers, like I called up before.
Dude, I
and
love
also
that
new
statue in the
items,
back and that
with every
Tyrael.
new,
Is that? I don't know if
every
that's
season.
Tyrael,
Make
but
sure there's,
one
like,
of the
new
angels
builds
in the back
and
looks
ways
dope.
to kind of
That
create
thing
and
right
customize
there looks
characters.
Those will stay,
ridiculous.
those aren't seasonal. Those
Yeah,
are
those
She
are going to be
looks
the Eternal Realm
huge.
as well as the seasonal realm, and they're going to be evergreen. They're going to be there after the season is over, which continue to add to the pool.
And so speaking of evergreen, like that's true.
I have a
There's
feeling,
potential
unless this
to
just
add
doesn't
side
have a
quests and
really
things
good
like
in
that.
game,
There's ways to
and I've said
continue
this.
to
I'm
enrich
gonna
the
be
open
honest.
world
I've said
through
this
seasons that
in the
will
past
actually
couple of
stay
years.
as
I've said this
people
with
sort
other
of move
games.
From the season into the Eternal Realm or to the next season. Yes.
Yep.
If it has a great end game, I could see
moving
myself
to the
playing
top,
this in
like,
Destiny.
add to
That's
the
it.
world of
Like,
Diablo
I'd be
4,
fine with
continue
that.
to build out
2
stuff.
looter
These things
games,
we're
but 2
really excited
different,
about
an
as well.
action
Maybe
RPG and
maybe
a
that might be the
live
first time
service
someone
FPS
mentioned the
looter.
Eternal Realm, but like
Yeah,
that is the
that sounds
intention
like
of
right on my
Diablo
alley.
3, that a seasonal character will.
I'm really
you know,
stoked
be
for
in the
D4.
season, playing
I'm
everything
excited
that
for the
we've
new
been talking
season
about
for
so far,
Destiny
and then
2,
when
to
that
be
season
honest, but
ends, that
after
character
I
will
saw the
move to
change
Eternal
to
Realm
this
where it will
roaming
live on. You
supers-
can choose to play there, or you can choose for the next season while the new seasonal character and go again. Yeah.
That's absolutely right. So the characters will get merged down in the Eternal Realm at the end of the season, giving you an opportunity to take some of the stuff that they collected over that period of time, and then build a new character as part of the next season.
Yeah, there's no
Interesting.
reason to feel like to shy away from starting a new character on the season because you will retain all of that progress. But-
Absolutely.
Nice.
Okay,
So you
cool.
retain progress.
And so, what about when we think about when I play the main game outside of a season? We know we have capstone dungeons to be able to change my difficulty tier. We know that at the end there's some mysterious level 100 boss that I want to try to get max out and prove I can beat this level 100 boss at level cap. Like, are there other things within seasons that are kind of like that, or how do I think about that sort of notion about like this sort of looking to the horizon of what I want to do?
Well, once again, Rod Ferguson, I couldn't ask for a better tee up in this case. Aspirational challenges. So with every season, we want to continue to build upon the end game and the goals of players.
So this is going to be the equivalent,
Every
since I was
season
talking about Destiny, like titles and
we've got
triumphs.
some particularly big ideas as we go through the first couple of seasons.
Aspirational
Uh,
challenges.
launches. So with
Could've
every season, what we do want
called
to
it something
add
better.
these really, really pinnacle challenges for players to go and engage with.
Pickle challenges?
Pinnacle challenges.
Pinnacle.
Pinnacle. I thought he said pickle
Sorry.
too. I thought he said pickle
Zombies
too,
and
to be
pickles.
fair.
Yeah.
All right.
There we
Okay. Well,
go.
fair enough. Fair enough.
I like pickle
Throwing some
challenges
mayo
though.
in there.
I do like
At SummerSlam.
pickle.
Sandwich.
This is the level of respect. that Joe Pickle
Pickle. I heard pickle too. I'm going to be honest. I heard pickle too.
Okay, so basically, we want to make sure that we've got these new big challenges for players to go and engage with every time we release the season. And as we go, we'll continue to add more depth to this. One thing we want to be very careful about is we're not looking to just sort of like arbitrarily continue to make the game longer and longer and longer and longer to play.
Right.
That's not the goal.
Smart.
Again, we are balanced around hitting level 100, earning your Paragon points, getting all of your legendary unique items. That's the real focus of power progression for the player. We want to provide new and distinct opportunities for players to kind of express that power and new goals to chase over the course of the season, without necessarily making like just more stuff that you have to go through in order to play the game.
So again, it's going to be like triumphs and titles. I bet something similar to that. You go do a epic quest line or
We'll
something.
continue to build in that direction as well.
Yeah, and I think it's really interesting when we talked about like side quests and things like that. It's also true kind of for the end game is that we may use seasons to experiment with new in-game features, and then if it's working really well, we might decide to keep it. If it's not working quite so well, we may have it leave with the season, and then maybe bring it back later. And what I like about the kind of
So it's a good way for them to
seasonal
test trial
flow
stuff.
we have going is that it allows us to experiment a little bit and see what works and what doesn't. And if it doesn't work, we know it's only there for 3 months. If it does work, hey, maybe we should have it stick around. So it's a great opportunity.
That's
to
smart.
test
So it's
that.
always a good
Absolutely.
way
It's
for
really
them
basic content, too.
to
It's like just being able to
see
bring
what
really
the
tough
response is going to
encounters
be
and
to
different
a
bosses and
potential
that
change.
nature.
That's
And then
smart.
These mechanical features, as we see how they perform and we see how players react to them.
All right, I need to calm myself. I'm getting a little pumped. I don't want to.
Particularly popular.
It's so far away. We have Tears of the Kingdom.
We
This,
want to hear from
I'm gonna be
players
busy with that.
about what's working, what they're enjoying, and also, what kinds of
They say
fantasy
that.
they want us to make.
See if
in the
that
shop.
actually plays
So
out.
Let us know anything that you want, gameplay or from the shop and battle.
Yeah,
pass.
it's like I said earlier. This is ultimately going to be a conversation, and as we see how players are actually playing Diablo 4, that's going to help us advise us on how we want to build Diablo 4.
corpse exploding necro look. I'm looking for a corpse exploding.
Man,
I think
I just had
Oh, okay.
a
you're gonna have to
daydream.
stay tuned for future.
So I had this daydream.
Okay, good to know.
And I will
covered.
say, like, I know we glossed over it really quickly, but we were talking about like meta changes.
I'll tell you about the
and things
daydream
like
later,
that and,
but-
like, balancing and whatnot. That is included in the feedback. That is incredibly important for
Yeah.
hearing from players related to that.
Yeah, I don't want to skip over that either. Thank you, Adam, for calling that out. So, if Diablo 4 is a game about choice, we want to make sure that we don't allow balance issues persist so long that they start to kind of interrupt or disrupt that choice that we're trying to provide for players. We don't want like any one particular build to feel so powerful that there's not a reason to play other builds.
They're
within the
copying Bungie.
So we want to make adjustments to make sure that player builds that might not be seeing as much play, get buffed and
They're
adjusted
literally
appropriately to make
copying
sure that
Bungie.
They do see more use as time goes on. That is important to us. We will make those changes on a regular basis.
Yeah, we don't want one way to play. We want every class and to have builds that all are equally as effective in terms of being successful. We don't want to be like only whirlwind barbarians can succeed, so only everybody's playing.
Yeah,
it,
that's
right?
the ideal. The reality is that every season will be like something that's a little bit more powerful than something else. We just want to make sure that the distinction, the divide there is not so great that it feels like you're making the wrong choice mathematically to ever play anything beyond whatever's considered meta for that moment.
Right. Well,
Right.
It's not like RPG players are min maxers.
Literally what Bungie does right now, y'all.
Bungie's a
Literally what
monster.
Bungie does right now.
No.
This is exactly that what they're talking about.
Just like
Deadpan.
I'm not signing up for that. I think it's like this. I think in the spirit of managing expectations and ripping band-aids off, I do think there's something we haven't talked about that we should at least say, knowing that we haven't talked about, which is leaderboards. I think the notion that I think people with
Yeah,
Diablo
some people
3
were
and
kind of
even
in an
like
uproar about
D2R
that.
As an example, the main thing about a D2R season is a leaderboard. And so just saying that in the early seasons, at least for season 1 and 2, there will not be a leaderboard. And that is something,
1
again,
and
as
2?
I said, a lot of stuff's already
Interesting.
in flight. We understand the importance of leaderboards. We understand people wanting to be competitive in their PvE play, competitive in their build play, be able to show their mastery of certain things. And so it's definitely on our backlog that is a thing we're working towards, to provide the player community with leaderboards as we move forward through seasons, but it's not something you're going to see in season 1 and potentially not in season 2. Again, I'm just managing expectations so you're not yelling
I
at
mean,
me
it's
for
good they're
after.
saying that.
We hear you. We know we want it. We're working on it. It's just not going to be there at launch or
That's right.
season 1 and 2.
That's right. So we're going to take the time.
It sounds like they're pretty
Right?
sure for
Month plus.
season 2. Like if it happens in season 2, it's going to be
I
lucky
know
that it
we
happens.
have a lot of questions here, and we've been collecting questions through chat and so forth like that. So I did want to go into at least a little bit of Q&A from people in chat. So if you guys have questions, feel free to throw them in chat, and
Yeah.
we'll
Ooh.
try to answer as many as possible.
Fuck
but,
yeah.
I
Bro,
know we did touch on this really
There's no
quickly
way.
as we're collecting these questions right
Sure.
now. But when will season 1
Where's chat?
launch?
Mid-July.
Where's chat?
Mid to late July.
Mid to
There
late
is no
July.
chat.
So,
I mean,
Liar.
and the reason
Unless
around
it's
the timing is
on
twofold.
Twitch?
One is we want to make sure that we will launch this season, we launch it into the best state the game can be in to accept that season. We don't, there's a launch of a game of this scale there can always be some things that we have to work through and settle in. But 2 is just as Joe talked about.
So June 6th
we
is
need
launch.
to be able
This
to
is going to be
get through the
season
campaign
1
before we
launch
start the
and
season.
when it's
So
launching.
by having enough time in what we call the preseason, and so in the preseason, Kagan.
That's what they're
no
talking about
battle
right now.
pass because it's a preseason, but there will be basically a sort of a reduced scope shop.
Dude, I feel
Yeah,
like
there
they're
will be some
copying
things you can
Bungie
buy.
like
You can
to a
sort of
T,
get a sense of
which
what
is
we
not
have. There's,
not smart.
Armor sets, mounts, and mount armors, and then there's some other cool things like emotes and headstones. So like if you die on the field of battle, you can leave behind a monument that is special.
Nice.
Interesting.
As we said, hardcore players.
Well, I mean, not-
careful of PvP. When you die, you're dead.
Yeah, dead forever.
Dead forever.
Yeah.
So.
In the game.
In the game.
in the
In
the game. Come on.
I thought that was.
Crash.
I thought that was.
I just thought about that.
Come to your
Hardcore.
house and we kill you.
True hardcore.
If I was going to do hardcore, I'd probably want to play a
that-
rogue,
that
to
is
be
a
honest.
popular question that we've
I feel like
gotten
it's gonna be
where
the best in
people were
PvP.
confused by like, hey, if you
Maybe
die
I
in
should play a
hardcore,
rogue.
like, do you come back to life, or do you just like start off like with no gear or something?
Roll
like that?
again,
It's like,
start
no,
again.
Yeah, you
start
start
all
again.
over again.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's
And that's and in PvP too.
But,
Yes.
And that speaks to something that, as we talk about the shop and customization, is one of the things is that when you buy one of the things that's sort of different, the battle pass, as you talked about, is the armor and those sorts of things are class agnostic. That
Bro,
allows
hardcore
when I get something in the
PvP,
battle
y'all.
pass, I can apply it to the
Bro,
class I'm playing.
you die, that's
But the
it. You're
shop is
done.
different because
Literally,
the shop
if you
can actually
choose to
target. I can go
fight
and say,
somebody,
"Oh, I
bro,
want this
I
necromancer
feel like it
look."
would
It's
just
not-
force
it
people to
doesn't go
play
across.
Very
in like full
specific to,
teams
like, the
though,
necromancer
because you'd
stance.
be almost
Right. And-
crazy
but it's
to
not
go out into a PvP
character-based,
zone by
it's
yourself
so
on a
if I,
hardcore
for
server.
whatever reason, roll 5 necromancers, I can apply that armor to all 5 of them, right?
All future necromancers that you ever create.
any
so for
necromancer in the
the
future.
infinite rogue like me, you know, I'm gonna get a lot of value.
right. Okay, great.
All right, I'm gonna try to pronounce these names, and some of them are easy, thankfully. But I'm gonna try to include people.
I was going to say, like, he's like, I'm going to
Wow,
try this,
what
but Bob asks.
That's
and
a
you're
great-
like, good job. You nailed that one.
Some on the back there. So we have a question from Negative Capable. If we get the premium battle pass late, is the favor retroactively applied?
It is. Like you will earn the favor, and then
good
it will
question.
unlock the tiers that, like the premium tiers that you didn't unlock because you hadn't unlocked the premium battle pass yet.
Yeah, like you'll still earn everything in the free track as well. Like you're kind of making progress like the whole time.
The whole
It's just a
time.
question of
Yeah.
whether or not when you get the premium versions, when you get to get all the premium rewards.
Yeah,
you've
then
unlocked.
it'll just suddenly unlock all those like locked premium tiers that you already went through.
And just a reminder, premium tiers just being obviously the cosmetics blessings are part of the free.
That's
track.
right. There are no. Yeah, there's no smoldering ash in the.
Zip, zero,
Yep.
no smoldering ash, no paper power
In premium tiers, yeah.
in
There you go.
premium.
And the,
No paper power at all.
exactly.
Yes.
I'm just saying no
Period.
smoldering ash in premium tiers.
Yes.
Also true.
But that's also, just to clarify, like that's also true of the season journey, is that
Mm-hmm.
if I, let's say, you know, I'm starting a new, I'm not getting the game till much later. It's season 2, and I'm buying the game at season 2. When I play the campaign,
I mean, that's
in
not
the
gonna be me,
background
so I'm
is
not worried about it,
tracking
but-
the season journey.
I bought the
accomplishments I'm
ultimate.
doing
I
while
got
I'm
the
playing.
extra 10 levels
So
in
not
the
everything
pass,
in the season journey is
and the
tied
game.
to
I
sort of
I dropped the
overall
100 on it
play.
because I knew
There's
it was
also
good.
some
It was
things
going to be
that
worth
can
it to me,
accomplished
even
by
just to have
playing
10
the
levels.
campaign.
That's
So
10
when I
levels I don't have to
finish,
worry
and I
about
go
that I
into
could be
season, all of a
ahead
sudden, ding, 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 a bunch of stuff in the season
on some
journey.
BA cosmetics because it's
Yeah,
just
that's the
cosmetics. It's
expectation.
nothing
You
pay to
will
win.
move through that season journey a little more quickly if you start in the campaign. You might not be able to like finish every chapter as you go because there's going to be some things you have to kind of like participate in the season quest line or the
Right.
season mechanics in order to be able to really get. But you will be making progress the entire time.
Got it.
But I don't think your hypothetical case is likely to happen because obviously everybody is going to buy Diablo 4 on launch.
Right.
So yeah.
It's a good call.
Question from.
QR code right here. QR code.
If you would like to.
I did not see that when I said that. Now I'm even happier.
Question from Juck Lax. Around what level will you end up getting to the mount specifically?
The problem wasn't the name; it was the
Yeah,
question
it was the
itself.
question itself. I'm just trying to like correct.
I think that is around level 30-ish. Yeah, it's around level 30-ish.
That makes sense.
Like,
Yeah, it really
everyone-
does.
everyone-
You know what?
everybody's
Oh,
depending
I'll
on
tell you
how
about my
play
daydream
out.
after. I'm gonna tell you about my
open
daydream
role-playing
after.
And you're driving up your level before you do the golden path in the
Yep.
campaign. Like basically the horsey,
Yeah.
as you and pony. We use different names for these, but the mount is unlocked as part of your campaign progression.
Right.
So you have to play the campaign. At
So you
some
can't just
point
get it at
to
level 1.
Unlock the mount. If you decide I'm not touching the campaign, I'm going to get to level 100 just in the open world. You will not unlock that horse.
That's completely
Ah.
true.
Yeah.
So that means everybody's going to
Question
play up to that point
from-
and then not give a crap on their alts. Is basically what that's implying. Because somebody's gonna find out
Are
a good
you
way to
going
like
move
grind.
the altars each season, so they're in different locations every single season.
Right now, the plan is not to move them every season. That's something we've discussed as a team. We'll see what the feedback is like, but right now we don't want you to have to rediscover the locations every time if you're looking for them. But we'll see how things adjust as we play.
Awesome.
Not hard for us to do.
And just to mess with you, we might anyway. So just like-
Maybe now I will.
Question from Slimy Saul.
People need a
Being
bit.
committed to
We
saying
need
these
more.
names.
We
Great
need more
names.
self-esteem in our community. I'm just telling you right now.
What about seasonal cosmetics? Are they account bound?
They are. So like if you unlock a, I assume you're talking about the shop and battle pass cosmetics.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you unlock a armor for your barbarian, all future barbarians that you ever make, and on the eternal realm, on the seasonal realm, it's usable on all of them.
Cool. Kiddo asks,
Easy.
Okay.
do ashes transfer over from previous seasons?
No. So with every new season, you'll be resetting and starting to go through your Ash collection once again.
It's also like one of the things maybe we didn't call it, but like the season, because there's season blessings. There was actually one that was top secret. So there'll be blessing. Those blessings we'll be playing with those. So
Yeah.
there'll be season specific blessings, and we may mess with what blessings are working or not. Again, it's part of the quality.
That
of
is
life. We'll be
literally
like, hey,
the
we see this
Bungie's
as an issue, or
artifact.
this is not
That's
working
literally
the way, or
Bungie's
we see
artifact,
another
the blessings.
opportunity. So this is another place we can play every season.
If there's anything that Blizzard does
Question
really
from
well, it's
Infernal
stealing the
Odin. Do you
ideas.
need to have
I don't
the
say
premium
stealing.
battle pass
That's
for
a
the
harsh
blessings?
word.
You
Being
not.
inspired by somebody
don't.
else,
That's why-
another
that's
company's,
why
another
Ashes
video
are
game,
on
another
the free track
MMOs,
itself, so you need the
ideas
Ashes for the
that they
blessings.
have,
And
making
it's,
them
again,
better
there's
and
two
applying it
conditions.
to
You
their
have to have the
games.
favor to get to those free tiers,
And not all
then
just
you
a
have
one
the
game,
level
but like
requirements so that
little
you,
things here and there.
Again, so everybody's at the same place, kind of from a play perspective. So there's no way to
Interesting.
accelerate that, and that you're somehow
Just
using
like the
tier
Bungie
systems to
model.
pay for power. You're not.
I need to make a video
It's
about that. I'm
because
gonna talk
you
about
have- it's
that,
on the
'cause
free track,
that's-
and you have to have a certain level requirement to be able to unlock that that ash to be able to use in the blessing.
This is a long name, and I'm not going to try. Is every season to level 100?
Oh, I thought that was her name.
Oh, that is
There's
all.
a question
that
from
could
is
be.
every season. I'm like, wow, that is a long name.
Every season is every season to level 100.
I mean, the season is till to the point where the player decides they've hit all the goals they have for
Till you
themselves.
cry,
each season.
uncle.
But I mean, you are going to start level 1, and you are going to play level 100. You know, if you choose to, with every season. But it's up for a player to choose what goals they want to really go after.
Question from Wittels. Will shop items stay in the shop, or will there be limited cosmetics too?
Oh, that is a great question. Sorry. So when items, the shop is actually personalized. There's limited shelf space in there, so you'll see a set of items in the shop, and then they'll swap out periodically. So in preseason, once a week on Tuesdays, some new things will come into the shop, some old things will come out of the shop. But when things leave, they're not like put into a vault. They will come back into the shop fairly frequently. Yeah.
Okay.
And that's the personalized. We actually have a thing like recommended for you.
That means
which
I'm
is one
really
of the
probably
things
going to be
that's really
playing the
interesting
shit
is
out of
when
this
something leaves the
and
shop, it actually goes into a pool
Destiny,
of
'cause they're
things
gonna be
that can
basically
recommended.
working
So
very
if someone
similarly.
like Kagan, who's constantly playing Rogue, or somebody like me who's constantly playing Necro.
So their
will
blessings are
actually
the
say,
equivalent.
Like,
So
hey,
I was talking
you
about
seem
this
to be
earlier.
playing a lot
So
of Rogue. Here's some Rogue things that may either be new.
their blessings are
Hey, there's some
basically
necro stuff.
the equivalent to like an
That's one of the things
artifact
really
and
nice
like
about the shop is it
unstoppable
has a
mods
little bit of
or
that,
a buff to strand or a
intelligence,
buff
and then
to
Yeah.
void or something like that.
And say, like,
So
hey, I
their
noticed
blessings
these-
are their form
seem
of
to-
like an
you
artifact
seem to be
that
really
gives you
interested in
special
blood-looking things. Here's a blood-looking
pluses
thing,
or
that
maybe
kind of stuff.
enhances
So I
certain
think it
things,
would be
maybe
really
makes you
nice way
stronger
to
against a
keep
certain
stuff fresh
type of
and interesting
monster,
and actually
and that's
play
going to
with
be
it.
rotating, as they said,
So
every
just to be,
single
like, so the
season.
recommend for me, like, Kagan's
It's just
saying
very-
her shop may look different with
Very
Rogue,
funny
as mine would
because
be filled
this
with
isn't the
necros
first time
potentially.
again
I mean,
Blizzard
there'll
has
be,
taken the idea from
You'll
another
get a
company.
mix,
Right,
but
but
like
you'll get a
it'll
video
make
game
we
and
want
made
to
it
make
better.
sure that the shop is serving you things that are actually interesting to you, and that we're not like forcing you to scroll through lots and lots of pages to find the exact thing you want. So, but to answer the question. No, when things leave the shop, they are not gone for good. They will rotate back in, and the shop is trying to show you things that you want to buy. Yeah.
Right, but there are like it's not
That's
just
cool.
that section where things are being recommended. You also have class-specific
wanna play
areas.
a
So
rogue.
even if I'm playing Necro all the time, but I'm really curious, I'm about to go play a rogue. I want to go look at the rogue. That stuff's all there too. It's not like I'm only limited to the stuff that it's recommending. I can go browse the shop as well on other classes and such. Right.
That's right.
Do you lose all season progress when a hardcore character dies?
So the things you complete in the season journey are all account bound, so you won't lose that progress. But the things that you collect on your character, that stuff's going to go away.
Yeah. So if you happen to find like really good gear or something, you're wearing it there, gone, just gone.
But the chapters you've unlocked or the favor you've earned.
Yeah.
That's a
That all stays.
Absolutely true. Yep.
Yeah, that is true.
And then this is actually something that we should clarify here because someone Tesday was asking. I'm missing something, or Ashes. Is it still a pay-to-win mechanic since you can advance 20 levels on the pass by paying? The thing that you may not caught was that there is a secondary requirement, which is you have to get to a specific level.
That's right.
If to unlock that specific ash and
So
use
even
that.
if you bust through those first 20 tiers by buying the accelerated pass, you won't have met the secondary level requirement on the free tiers.
That's
have
smart.
smattering ashes,
So
and
no,
then
there's
you
no
won't be
pay to
able
win whatsoever, or
unlock
they're
them
trying
faster that way.
to get it to that.
Exactly. Funny question from Tactica. When will we get Rod's hoodie in the shop?
That is a nice hoodie.
Rod's hoodie was
It does
been
look
in the
nice.
shop. Unfortunately, I sent people that were like, "Hey, if you want to go to this gear shop," and they only have smalls.
So technically, it's still there.
If you can buy, if you're small, which I am not. We are very aware of some certain things that we have in the shop that are very popular. One was the Lilith denim jacket with the hoodie sleeves that I think was
What?
awesome couple of years ago that we didn't. I don't know why we didn't bring back.
We
And
were literally just talking about this before the stream started too.
yeah, exactly. And so we know we hear the comments that I wear this because in any interview that's required me to sit, I need to hide all the folds and stuff. So I use this as my shelter. But people like it, so we need to bring it back in the shop and get more stock. So that's weird.
Yeah, that looks like a really
Let's
nice
see,
hoodie.
there
Actually, I like the big.
a question regarding when
Pull
you
cords.
skip the campaign. From Master Barbarian. You're probably playing Barbarian.
It's not guaranteed. Shocker.
When you skip the campaign, what level do you actually start at?
Level 1.
Level 1.
Every character you make a is going to start at level 1.
Okay, and I think I answered this wrong on Twitter, so you can correct me. When someone asked me when you skip the campaign, where do you start? I knee-jerk said you start in the cave, and that's not true, right? When you skip the campaign, you start in Kyovashad.
Yes. So for season 1 and for the preseason, when you skip the campaign, you'll start in Kyovashad. Might not always be in Kyovashad.
Foreshadowing.
I guess. Yeah. Sure.
You start in a grave as a zombie that you wake up and then you feel.
Yeah, I kind of like that idea. You're a zombie because you just skip the
people are
campaign.
just completely going to believe that. Like,
I know,
is a
that's
zombie
the
thing.
You're a zombie, yeah.
Zombies
Yeah,
from
that makes
here on
sense.
Just don't get like heavily attached to the zombie idea because it's not
Please
happening.
don't.
So like
No zombie.
it's not happening.
Will there be unlockable mounts or cosmetics through defeating like gameplay challenges, or will those only be through the shop
That's a
itself?
good question.
Yes. There are some mounts and other things you can collect, like trophies, and certainly like titles and things along those lines that you will get from overcoming particular challenges throughout Diablo 4. So there's plenty of stuff to actually collect as well, not just even just like finding gear on the ground and picking it up and salvaging it. There's other things you'll get as like achievement level rewards for having completed certain kinds of content.
And seasons will have
That's
new
cool.
titles and new things like that.
Yeah, seasons can have like new titles and like again the aspects or things you'll be collecting as you play.
And then this is a question about the server slam stuff, which was if they had the open beta app on PlayStation, do they need to download a different one? The answer is no, you won't. Here in like the next couple minutes or so, you will be able to 2 minutes. Well, two-ish minutes.
So you can pre-install
Two-ish
here in 2
minutes.
minutes
Two-ish
or in a
minutes.
minute?
Please don't
I
come
should
after me
pre-install
at,
that.
like,
Still
12
kinda-
o'clock
maybe
when
I
it's,
should try
not
Rogue.
available
Oh, no,
right
you
then
should
and
totally.
there.
I mean, there was a crazy
on
TikTok
Twitter.
that I saw of a rogue who like soloed
PlayStation,
Ashvara?
that app will actually automatically update.
Or Ashara,
and
Ashavra,
apply all the
whatever.
But it's a
changes
fresh
that you'll have
start.
to-
You're
It is.
starting
It
at
is
level 1.
Yes, all your characters from beta do not move over with this server slam. You will have to start with fresh start characters.
And to be clear, like one good thing is this is a third opportunity to get. If you didn't get your wolf puppy pack,
Already got
this
mine.
is another opportunity. So if you reach level 20 with any character during Server Slam, which you have 48 hours to do it, and you could probably knock it out on a Friday with a little no lifing, but level 20 to get your beta puppy pack. And then we have a new reward around defeating a Shava at level 20. So and it has to be level 20.
Yep.
And so
Look at this fancy graphic.
now the
Damn.
reward
It's
is
like a
It's
car
being
commercial.
revealed. Wait for it.
wait
There
for
it
it.
is. Ta-da.
So
There
you
to be
go.
super clear though, because I've had this question, it is not the horse or the horse's armor or
It's
the
the
horsey
horn.
or the pony. It is actually the claw on the back, which we call the Shava's, the cry of a Shava or a Shava's
The cry-
cry.
the cry
Shava,
of
so it's a
The cry of a
Shava.
Shava, because
Yeah.
if you were declawed,
I couldn't beat a Shava,
But
but I only
you
played the
have
first,
to beat
second.
a Shava at level 20. If you beat a
played
Shava
the
at
first
level
one.
19, no claw for you.
Made it, that's
right.
You'll be the one crying, not a Shava. So that was just me.
I mean, the horse
But
would have been
what
really
What if I have
badass. I'd have
friends who
been
can,
fine
like,
with that, to
carry
be
me through the
honest.
combat, and I could just go
Nope.
there at level 9.
You have to be level 20 to get the claw. Like you can
Okay.
beat a Shava, but plus don't be that person. Those are 11 people who need another level 20 to show up. Like do not, if you go early, you're just bringing the team down. Don't go early. Get to level 20. It's not that hard. And then represent. And then you'll get the cool new mount trophy. And it's an example of one of other cosmetic types we have is mount trophies, but a lot of it is around achievements. Like we have stuff for PvP where you can demonstrate like I'm a badass who kills other players, and so you can have a certain mount trophy for that. So it's a cool new reward. It's just we want people to go in, and so you'll have 9 chances.
So
what
your
we've
horses,
done is
your
the
whip essentially
game,
is going to be able
Silver
to
Slam
be
will start on Friday
customized.
at 9 a.m. And then, sorry, at noon. I apologize. Friday at noon, the game of
Maybe
Silver Slam
3
will
hours,
start,
final
and then you
spawn.
basically have till Saturday at 9 a.m. to get to level 20. And then at 9 a.m. we start a Shava every 3 hours. So
I already got
based
all
on
of those
that, you'll
except
have
for the
9
mount
chances,
trophy because I wasn't able to beat
kill
her.
a Shava. So those are
A Shava.
your windows of opportunity. So
Maybe I should install
getting
it.
to 20, and then Saturday trying to kill the Shava. And please get to 20 before. Don't be that person. Don't drag down your team.
there's a lot of time to get to 20 and a lot more opportunities now compared to even the beta where Shava only spawned 4 times that whole entire weekend.
Right.
Now you have a lot more opportunities to actually take down a Shava. It is more of a challenge, as we said before.
Fewer legendaries, lower
Yep.
level cap.
Yep, it absolutely can be done on both world tiers, but if you're having a difficult time with a particular attempt, don't be afraid to step down to adventurer tier.
No
You
shame.
can make it a little bit easier for
No
yourself,
shame,
potentially.
none
It's
at
up to
all.
It's not a bad idea.
One last question before we will wrap up, because this gives an opportunity for people to start downloading Server Slam, which is when you spend Smoldering Ash, can you re-roll that Smoldering Ash like onto like different blessings and so forth?
Like, can you
Oh.
unspend it?
Can you unspend it and put it on other blessings?
Honestly, I'll have to follow up with design.
I will follow up on that,
Oh, there we go.
and I will provide an answer
You
on
stumped us.
that. Yeah, we've been
That's a good one.
We've
So
been
if you spend it
stumped.
on something in the season pass, like if one
just
bless
a
isn't
reminder,
working.
Server Slam downloads will be starting here momentarily.
It
So
should
you
have
can
already started 2 minutes ago.
Yeah,
What are you doing?
so you should be able to grab it from the BattleNet client, from PlayStation,
is.
Xbox as well. And if you already have the beta clients, those will start to update automatically, so you'll be prepared for this weekend. Provide feedback on our forums. You can see all the amazing rewards here and so forth for Server Slam this weekend.
I think this weekend I need to
Provide all your
play
feedback on the
Rogue
forums.
and
We'll be reading
Druid.
forums, Reddit, social media, and so forth.
But
Yeah,
it's
I think
like
we should
Tears of the
also,
Kingdom, you know.
that's
I already have that
I
guy.
played
See,
it
that
tonight.
was
I
that
just
alone is
played
worth.
it.
I have
I
that.
didn't get the
I'm gonna be
puppy, so
sporting
You didn't
that
hit 20 last time?
on either my Rogue
Okay.
or my or I don't know what I'm gonna play.
Awesome.
Honestly, I
I
still
mean,
don't know
I
what I'm
think-
gonna play.
To be clear, too, like I just want to again, as we talk about the realities of development, you know, I feel like the team did an amazing job responding to the feedback on the open beta and being able to make all the changes that made for the dungeon and the font.
Let's hope they
and
keep
all the
that,
stuff all
right?
the great feedback.
So
And you still want that
that
same
is
feedback
cool and
coming
right
off
that they're
Server Slam,
listening to
but
feedback and trying to
please
like make these
recognize the game
changes
went
or
gold a little
improve.
while ago.
But let's hope
We
they
are
keep that
22
throughout
days
the
away from
game.
launch,
You know
so
what I
our
mean?
ability to respond in a really big way to feedback is going to be somewhat limited as we're kind of coming in to land this airplane, if you will. So we're doing our best, and we're going to respond as best we can. But just in
22
terms of
days,
scope of
bro!
changes, like we were able to do a lot coming off of the beta, probably less off Server Slam. This is really meant to be, hey, we're getting ready to go live. We want to make sure our servers are ready for that. And so this is what this is about. We still want your feedback. I'm just saying, manage expectations. You may see the results of that feedback more towards season 1 or such. So just something to be aware of.
Yeah. So lots coming up here this weekend, and lots coming up before launch as well. For Diablo 4, we're obviously really excited. This is actually, I will note, this is our last developer update live stream
What?
One tier.
before launch. We will continue these post-launch.
Even if it's just you by yourself, we're talking.
Yeah, I will just jump on a camera and.
I will say this is
and
nicer
for
than, like, a
1
You know,
hour.
to Starbucks on your phone.
Because they're actually like
I
talking
imagine
about
we'll
it
be
and
talking
even
right
taking
now.
live
Yes,
questions.
yes.
And
We've
that's what I
already
wish
spoken
Bungie would do.
quite a bit.
If Bungie could
There's
integrate
more.
this into
Try
like
more
a
where that
imagine a
came from.
12 version of
fraction
this.
of what I could say.
There's a lot of similarities
I mean,
what
this
they're
is a
doing
big
and planning
work.
on doing, and with like Bungie's.
And just
current
another
setup
reminder
right now
that
with
all
their video
the topics that we discussed today regarding seasons, battle pass, and shop, and so forth, those are actually going to be available on Diablo4.com. We'll have a blog up immediately after this stream, so people can actually take a look there and get more
Their version of
information
a
or
TWAB?
read more information if you happen to just jump in halfway through or something like that.
Yeah. Or we spoke too fast,
Or yeah.
and you want to read it at your own pace, then that's a good place to go to do that.
Side-eyeing Joe the whole time.
I appreciate you, Joe.
I appreciate Joe. Joe.
We all appreciate you.
Joe's great. Joe's great. And at the same time, the Server Slam information, we have a blog up for that as well. And that, again, starts at noon Pacific time, May 12th.
Noon. Yes, noon. Sorry.
right up.
Noon Pacific time, May 12th. So we hope to see
You know,
guys there.
honestly, if my
US Mother's
package
Day
for
Mother's Day
I
weekend.
decided I'm going to play on my
Blessed
Switch
Mother's
and
Day
not
weekend.
use the
Blessed Mother's
emulator
Day
just because it's
weekend
not
in the US
100%
and
stable.
in some
I don't like the
participating
idea of
countries that
not
have
having a
not
good
already
stream and being
celebrated
able to
Mother's Day.
enjoy the
I know,
game
it's
if
like-
it's not
yeah.
stable.
Or we'll celebrate
So,
Mother's Day at a different date. But
I'm just going to play it whenever I get it.
But yeah, thank you guys again for tuning
All
in.
right, so that's the end of
another
that.
Diablo
So
4
I want
MOBA.
to show y'all something before we start, and what literally just said it's a lot like Bungie. So the way their blessings and season pass is going to work is similarly, and when I say very similar to how Bungie has it in their artifact, which is going to be the equivalent of like their blessings, and then the season pass thing just on its own is going to be like that. But the way they also described how there's going to be certain builds, and he said builds, they don't want one build to seem overpowered or to, just kind of stick around forever. So they're going to rotate and make balancing for those things, like over the season, like at the end of the season, they'll make changes. So there's not one build that's always going to be the best Blizzard build for your sorceress, like there is in like Diablo 2, because those don't really fluctuate. You know what I mean? But I wanted to show y'all the artifact because this is like the same exact thing as the blessings. It's basically, they just call it something different. Again, what I said earlier, Blizzard is really, really good at taking somebody else's idea of something for their video games, whether it be one specific game, all of the games, and then just making it better. I mean, look at Hearthstone versus Magic the Gathering, and like even Pokemon, like really big trading card games, and then Hearthstone came out and did like a completely digital like trading card game, and like and like it's a sport now, like it's a sport just like Pokemon and Magic. It's ridiculous. But so let's look at the season pass. So first, let's look at the artifact. So when they were talking about their blessings, it's basically how the artifact works with Destiny 2. So in these artifacts, you get certain buffs, like for Strand, maybe it's buffing up your grenades, but it sounds like it's more account-wide buffs as opposed to specifically to your character, because in Destiny, you can specifically build this artifact to your character. So some of these may be different for like a Warlock, a Titan, or your Hunter. So, but in Diablo 4, those blessings are going to be across the board for your account. Actually, no, now that I think about it, is that specific to the character? Because they were talking about the ashes and spending those. So maybe it is specific to the character. So then this works identically to this, where you can just build this to how you want, and you can build your blessings to that character. I'm sure eventually you'll unlock all of them. You don't do that here in Destiny. But it's so funny. There's so many parallels to like the way they were going to be building the seasons and the rotating builds and things like that, that it's so much like Destiny. It's kind of ridiculous. Oh, and the season pass is going to be identical. You're going to unlock certain things. These would be like the equivalent of ashes. And so as you kind of progress through the season, you're going to get every so often maybe like a boost to something, a cosmetic here, cosmetic there. It's identical to this. And it's 100 levels. What do you know? It goes to 100 just like that. Crazy. Anyways, I was just in my head thinking Bungie, Blizzard, and I've always thought that Blizzard does a really good job of incorporating other ideas from other video games, MMOs, and what a company does for their season builds and makes it better. I mean, it's ridiculous. All right, we can play some Mario Kart now. Now that I've gotten off my soapbox, let's hop over here. Let me turn on this light. It's kind of dark in here. All right. Mario Kart. What? No, start software. Wait, unless I need that in order to... I don't know. We'll see. Oh, tomorrow I am not going to be streaming since I'm going to be streaming the whole weekend. I wanted to take off tomorrow, and then that way I'll be ready for... okay. Oh, wait, no. That's not what I wanted. Oh, that was quick. Dude, I have not played this a lot. Really at all. I'm just going to keep this. Apparently, I was renting this for a reason, so I'm just going to keep this, I guess. I'm not really sure how this is going to go. I honestly forgot which button is go. I think it's Y. I'm not 100%. What? Is it because I didn't update my stupid... Well, I guess we're going to have to update, y'all. Where is system? System update. Update. Okay. Close. Yeah, the parallels in between Diablo 4 and their seasons, which I'm not mad about it. I think it's hilarious that Blizzard has done it again. Hey, if it works, it fucking works, right? If you can make somebody else's idea better and then be successful in your video game, yeah, fuck yeah. But you know what I mean? That's awesome. But I just, in my head, I was laughing. Oh, I wanted to talk about my daydream. So earlier when they were talking about developing the game, that they really wanted to kind of get feedback and kind of, work with the community base. I had this daydream of what if, and this is a far-fetched idea. I don't think this would ever happen, but I'm a daydreamer. So I was thinking, what if this is their way, Blizzard's way, to test on a massive scale more their multiplayer version of Diablo 4 and eventually make like a World of Warcraft but Diablo version of it. That'd be awesome. Is it going to happen? Probably not. Let's see if it connects now. Oh, nice. Yeah, we found a group. All right, nice. Dang, from all over, literally. Dang, who is that in the cat suit? Is that must be a different... They have different costumes now? Man, I haven't played this in a minute. Yeah, I figured we would just play something chill on the Switch. This is my girlfriend's idea, actually, to play this. I was like, hey, what should I play today? She said Mario Kart. I was like, that's a great idea. So, here we are. I like to do random. That doesn't matter to me. There's me. The only one with glasses. Well, except for that guy in the back. Actually, my hair's a lot longer. I should probably change my me. Oh, well. I do not remember how to play this game. All right. I think it's A. I'm not 100%. Oh, shit. Oh, a fucking banana peel? That's bullshit. Poppycock. Whoa. Yeah, give me the mushrooms, bro. Yeah, baby. Ah! Ah! Nope. Dang it. No. Oh, nope. Wrong way. Wrong way. Oh my god. Oh my god. I'm power sliding the wrong way. This isn't good. There we go. We're in 10th place. We're getting fucked. I'm also in the little guy, though, to be fair. There we go. Bullet, 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 bullet. Thank you. Excuse me. Coming through. Coming through. And let's go. Let's fucking go. Let's fucking go, baby. Let's go. Oh! 4th place. Okay, a little rusty. A little rusty. That's okay. That's okay. Still got a plus. You know, another thing about this is the only online thing that I don't have is Serrano 786. Ooh, that's my favorite track of all time. That's the only time I'm probably ever going to pick that one. Just because that shit is dope. That was my favorite back in the SNES days. I think I'm going to have to go back and watch the rest of that video. I probably won't stream that long because I want to make a video about that. About Diablo 4's new dev update and how they're just literally taking... I'm not saying they're stealing it, but they're just using the same idea about the seasons and the rotating builds and like... It's so much... It's so the same. It's so close. It's so ridiculous. All right. It's my DM right here, boy. Let's go. Oh. Fucker. Oh. No, no! Come on, get into the speed pad. Oh. I ain't getting in front of you, dog. Oh no, oh no, oh no. Come on, blue shell. We need a blue shell right now. We need a blue shell right now. shit. I'm not gonna get that. No, I missed it. Ooh, no! Yeah, one was just really, they just had that just a good enough lead. Oh, I didn't favorite that. I should have favorited that. Yeah, this is where I'm just gonna random. Blizzard at it again. Good for them. That's just going to make Diablo 4 that much more enjoyable. I know I keep talking about it like it's a bad thing, but I think that is huge. Like, it's going to make Diablo 4 that much more enjoyable for people. And I think that people who aren't familiar with that, that haven't played a game that has that kind of setup on how they do that, I think is awesome. Yeah. Ayo. Oh no! No, 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 no! Fucked up my power slide. I'm not familiar with this one. No! Oh no! I got cut. Damn it. Let's go. Damn. Dude, that was crazy, and that was really short. Dry bones. It's dry bones. I can't make the noise like dry bones, so I don't know. Yeah, I always just choose random. The only time I don't really is if it's Super Mario Circuit 3. I mean, that's my favorite one. And Rainbow Road just because I'm chaotic neutral. You know, just some. If I see a Rainbow Road, no matter what it is, I'll choose it. Chaotic neutral, you know. I'm using tilt controls. Bye. That guy looks like me, but his eyes are different. The haircut's a little bit different too. Never mind. This was fun. How are they? Frickin' are they doing the? I guess I don't have it set up on that. I guess it could be emulating too. That bottom right one again. Hyrule Castle looks like. España. This game has sold more copies than any other game for Nintendo. Rupees! Rupees! Ah! Ah! Oh no! Oh, what a dick! No, dick! Oh, just got cucked. No! Get away, get away, get away. No. Ah! No! In the middle of the air! What a dick! No! Cucked all the way back to 10th place? What the hell is this? Come here. Come on. Damn. Dude, that other Luigi was just ripping it. I got cucked all the way back to 10th, and thankfully the bullet bill carried me. Woo! No Rainbow Red. Good luck. Oh, those two are deep in conversation. I guess I'm having a conversation with two. Oh, this guy in the black just came up and was like, "Hey, what's up, dog?" Yo, what up? What's cooking? What's popping? Brand new shit. Ba 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 ba. Who knows? I might get a. It kind of depends on tomorrow. So I might hang out with a buddy of mine for a little bit. I might just go have lunch, and then if I just have lunch, I'm probably gonna come back, and I might just throw on Breath of the Wild, and we'll just go through and beat Ganon, and then just be ready for Tears of the Kingdom. Tears. I got a notification, an email. Was it yesterday or the day before that my order was on the way for my collector's edition for Tears of the Kingdom? Mother dick stole my fucking square, you dick. In the middle of the air, why? Right in the beginning, I get cucked. What the hell is this? Fucking dry Bowser just dry humping me. Jesus. Oops. No. There's a way you can cheat on that. I forgot. They're not fucking red shell me in the air, fucker. Oh, I ain't going up there. Nice. Ooh! Oh no. Oh no! Hey-oh! Link's got cut on the side. Alright, I got a decent lead. No! Come on. You got this. You got this. First place, baby! Let's go! Nice. Sometimes when you just get that nice little lead in the front, it's a lot easier to stay in the lead. When you're in first place and you have a good lead and there's no blue shells. Yeah. Hey, look at that. Look at that. I think it's going to time out Link once everybody crosses. It should have already. Right? Because he's the last one. Unless you they got to be trolling. Like for real. No! Oh. Boo. That is unfortunate. That's really unfortunate. You know, I kind of want to watch that. You know what? Let's do this. Let's just turn this off. I want to watch the first part of the... I want to watch the first part of that dev stream. Okay, there we go. And then I can save myself of having to go back through it, and I can do it on stream. Ba-da-ba-da-ba-ba-bum. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba-bum. Where is Diablo? Let's see, Diablo videos live. Here we go. Let's go through this. Here. All right. All right. Here we go. So we're gonna reaction to this. Plead Duffini with a new follow on Twitch. Thank you. Appreciate it.
That's how I started all that anticipation. Hey guys, how's it going?
Let me turn this up.
I'm the community lead for Diablo, and we are here for the next Diablo 4 developer update live stream. And I'm joined by
Why does it sound really low?
a panel of people.
You're overstating it, but
I'm
okay.
overstating it, but yeah.
Rod Ferguson, general manager of all things Diablo.
Joseph Pipora, I'm the associate game director for God of War.
Art director of product.
Oh, maybe they're messing with the center.
Well, we have a really packed show today, and there's a lot of stuff, obviously, going on with Diablo lately. I mean,
Really?
I'm not sure if you've
Nothing
heard.
going on. I thought, didn't you just get back from vacation?
No,
Here, I'm gonna turn that up because I can barely hear it.
I was in Chicago like
Why is
a
that so
couple
low?
weeks ago. Now I'm just lost all track of time. But we, we're only, what,
22 days.
2 weeks? 3 weeks? I
Till-
think I've lost all
of the
track
launch?
of time. 3 weeks till early access.
22 days.
22 days. Oh, look, we have a wonderful
See, there
countdown.
you go.
Oh.
22 days.
22 days. All right.
Exactly.
We can
until,
fast forward through this.
The early access actually starts.
2 months away. We're 3 months. It constantly, it's just like, oh my god, I can't believe it's finally here. It's almost time to play
Well,
Diablo
that sounds so
4.
low. Is that
But
me?
you know what we can do before launch to play Diablo 4?
Play server Slam.
Hey, there we go.
No, well, I was like, I wasn't sure if you were gonna like throw it to me a little bit more or something like that.
I couldn't throw it any harder.
But
This isn't a big guys. We're just bad guys.
we're just at it. Those will actually just start auto updating, and if you got rid of
Last live stream, but we've gone ahead and made some adjustments to the way the dungeon objectives are laid out.
Okay.
We changed some of the dungeon flow.
Here we go.
It's going
Just
to
get into
be,
the meat
have
potatoes.
A lot more smiley faces and fewer frowny faces as you progress on through. We've done some balance updates for classes to kind of like adjust based on like data we saw as we're looking at like how players were actually playing and like kind of reviewing how things were actually working in the live game, which is really exciting. We made some adjustments to like the drop rates. Now they're more reflective of the actual base game experience when we're launching in the near future. So during the last beta, we had like an accelerated drop rate for legendary items. Now you're going to get a sense of like what's going to really feel like in those early levels of Diablo 4. To try to like fight and try to find those legendary items.
Right. So actually, Server Slam will actually prove to be a little bit more challenging because the level cap is lower. It's not 25. It's 20. So you max it at 20. So you have essentially 5 less skill points to play with. And legendaries aren't going to be raining from the sky the way they were during the beta. So, we have this notion of getting to level 20 to get your wolf pack, and also to try to take on a Shava. But like a Shava is going to be more challenging than last time because of that 5 less skill points and
So it's
many
level
legendaries.
20, not 25.
that's
So it'll be
really interesting
easier to
see
get
if
to
we can
max,
level
at least for
20
the
at
test.
Shava. So that's, but it's a more.
I mean, I'll be
accurate
playing Tears of the
representation.
Kingdom,
It's sort of
so.
like people talked about how does it actually feel to go from 1 to 20, and this is actually, essentially the path we're pretty close to what we're shipping with at launch. Even the new font. We didn't talk about the new font.
That's true.
That's
Yeah,
it.
we definitely have also updated the font. So there's a lot. What we're really trying to say is there's a lot to look forward to as far as Server Slam, and importantly, please come check it out. It really is going to help us for launch, to make sure that we get as many players as we can, stressing out the servers, and making sure that we have accurately estimated everything. So we're in a really great spot.
So Kagan, what class are you playing in Slam?
I only ever play Rogue. I hate to
You
be that
only
person.
ever play
I
Rogue?
only play Rogue. I really like high mobility classes. So like, you know, I want to zip around.
Rogue is that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I got my Druid up to 25 last time, and I got a Barbarian up to 25 last time. I'm looking forward to jumping, I think, into a Necro this time. Oh, and I got my Sorceress up to 25 last time as well.
Nice.
But Necro this time. I wanted to hit all 5. I didn't have time to get all 5 this time. But this round, I want to try to get my my Necro up.
And Adam?
Ooh, I don't know. I'd probably say Necromancer this time. Yeah, I did Druid and Rogue last time, and you know I haven't played Necromancer since way back when. So I'm just like, okay, yes, we have played the game before, other people.
You have access to Diablo 4 where other people don't?
Amazing, yeah. But yeah, probably Necromancer this time.
I think I'm gonna go Druid just because like I'm gonna Necro so hard in the main game that I don't want to I want to save that, so I'm gonna go Druid in the Slam, I think.
Saying Necro is a verb. It sounds like you're talking about like a thread in form somewhere.
That's how you necro.
True. God,
It's all
so
about
All right.
Corpse Explosion.
We hear Rod talk about
launch. Okay? That's the truth. Okay. No, like all the classes are super fun. They all have like interesting and different overpowered mechanics.
It is nice that they've had these some mini betas. I will say that players are able to
and
kind of
just a
test
reminder,
out
like I
each of
said
the
beforehand,
classes.
because we have service
And
Slam
so
this
it's just
weekend,
a good way to
we're a little
figure
over
out for
3
sure
weeks from,
when the game launches
early
live,
access,
or
the
even
Deluxe
early
Ultimate
access, what you're going to
versions
play.
are available for pre-order for those to get early access for the 4 days, or 4 to maybe 5 days, a little bit early, like or depending on where you live. Well, I mean,
It's
like,
still 4 days.
well, I
No
mean,
matter
it's
where you
like,
live.
I mean, it's like ish.
If you get in a plane though,
And
You're gonna
and,
fly
and
exactly
you might
quickly.
get an extra couple.
Thank you. So anyways, we do have a QR code up here, so you guys can actually go straight to the Battle.net.
All right, blah, blah, blah,
Actually
blah,
show
blah,
you
blah.
all
Come
the,
on.
different
And
versions.
one of the questions we get around that is like, because we have cross-play and cross-progression, you know, obviously you can play on console, you can play on PC, you can play with others on console or PC,
Yep.
and your progress carries over no matter where you are. But that's also true for things like the rewards and the incentives. So as an example, if you were to play Server Slam on Xbox as an example, awards for the Beta Wolfpack or the Cry of Ashava, like that stuff will carry over when you switch platforms. Same thing for the stuff when you buy the Ultimate Edition, that stuff will carry over to other platforms. And so, you know, when people are like, oh, I want to buy 2 versions.
I am, gotta say, I am really excited about
you can buy
that.
the Ultimate in one and the Basic in another and share those rewards.
Yeah,
I do really like the idea that I can play on my computer, and then if I want to just go chill on the couch in the living room, put my PS5 over there and play it on my PS5 and just zone out on the couch and, you know, enjoy it on like a Saturday or Sunday afternoon, I can do that. I'll probably mostly play on PC, but I'm getting on a PS5 too, so that way I can do exactly that and be able to
The
play
only
on
caveat,
both.
though, is that
I do like that
early
change.
access from the Ultimate version or the Deluxe version stays
I got
on
the
the
Ultimate.
platform that
I
you
bought
actually
it in.
purchase.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Early
So
access.
if you are wanting to play early access on PC, make sure to get the PC version, and you can buy like a PlayStation version or an Xbox version, and actually carry over all those other incentives over between different platforms.
That was an excellent job at fine print. You did the fine print beautifully
Yeah.
there with a little
Thank
asterisk
you.
caveat on that.
Thank you.
The lawyers have asked me to say that you only get early
I
access
have
on the
answered that
platform.
question many times for the last couple of months. So, but we do have a lot to talk about today. I think one of the biggest things that we've been hearing from the community is the discussion around seasons and how they will work in Diablo 4.
Wait, that's what we're here to talk about?
Exactly.
It's a long
I'm hoping you remember why we're here.
I don't read any of this. I don't read that, man.
But as we all know, like seasons are a big part of Diablo itself. You know, we have seasons in Diablo 2, seasons in Diablo 3.
Season 4 on May 4th for Diablo 2 Resurrected. And we're still season 28 on Diablo 3.
Yes.
So rocking that out. So yeah.
That's so many seasons.
Yeah, so but seasons with Diablo 4 has been a big question because a lot of people want to know how it kind of works and like the structure of it and so forth. And thankfully, we have Joe and Kagan here to help us and talk about that. Oh, I guess Rod too.
No, I'm just here to interrupt their flow and annoy them. That's my job.
But Joe, how do seasons in Diablo 4 work?
Adam Fletcher, thank you so much for asking. I'd love to talk about this for a bit. So let's talk about seasons. All right, so we're going to have a helpful infographic to show you in just a second, but let me talk to you about seasons as a general rule. As we're thinking about Diablo 4 and the launch product of the game, we are trying to make sure that we've got a really great experience that players are going to be able to enjoy for their first, character playthrough of the campaign and have an excellent, excellent experience. Seasonal content, our post-launch content, is going to be arriving shortly after the launch of the base game.
Mid to late July.
Mid to late July, actually. It's good. Yeah, we haven't asked.
So about a month later.
Absolutely, it is mid to late July. You've heard it from Rob Ferguson.
Mid
so
to late July.
Make sure that you've got enough
So about a
time
month.
to play through your first character and really enjoy the campaign at your own pace and kind of explore potentially different classes as you go. So when we're thinking about seasons in Diablo 4, we start off with thinking about a theme, the seasonal content of that season. So we're going to have 4 seasons a year, 1 per quarter, and each of these are going to have a really strong theme associated with them.
So they're 3
And
months
this theme is
long
going to,
each.
basically inform the things we want to do with all the content.
Just like
in the season,
Destiny.
with things that might be appearing in the battle pass, things in
Blizzard
seasonal
doing what they do
quest
best.
things associated with like the new gameplay mechanics. We'd be adding
Said it
to that
before, I'll
season.
say it again.
We wanna
They're
make sure
really
these
good
things
at
feel
that.
like they're connected in one coherent experience for players when they log in and they play during the season.
Right.
Yeah.
And so as part of that season, then to carry that theme forward, you're going to want to obviously have some sort of context or narrative around the season. Yes.
Yes, that's absolutely right. So that leads us to the seasonal quest line. So one of the questions I see get asked either like online or occasionally we'll see in like various chat channels is just that like how are we thinking about story as a with regards to like the live service, and how are we extending the story of Diablo 4? And there's kind of like 2 approaches to the way that we're looking at things. With regards to seasons, we're not going to be using this as an opportunity to expand upon the campaign story of Diablo 4.
Right.
The campaign story of Diablo 4, featuring like Anarius and Lilith, and the events of the Wanderer, those events are really going to be told over the course of our expansions, our post-launch expansions, that we're not talking specifically about today. But that's really where the high-level narrative of Diablo 4 will continue to unfold. But that leaves our hand open.
Hold up. So that is, again, verbatim Destiny 2. So what does Destiny 2 do every single year? They have a new expansion lately that has released once a year. February 28th is usually, or that Tuesday or whatever that Tuesday is, the last Tuesday of the month. They do a new DLC, right? And they expand on the big overarching story. And then within those years, they have 3 and now 4 seasons where they have side or arcing stories specific to those seasons that in some way are kind of connected to the main story arc. Like let's say as an example, this season, it's the season of Defiance, and is it the season of Defiance? Whatever it is, this season Defiance, but it's the expansion of Lightfall. And then we're going to have 3 other seasons, and actually another one that's starting in about 18 days. Is it 18 days? No. When is it? 13 days. So in 13 days, they're going to have a new season that's going to have another partial story that's going to somewhat connect to that. This is similar, right? It sounds like they're more separated on this, but it's very, very similar. Oh, Bungie, or old Blizzard doing what they do.
Things and seasons. So if a season is supposed to have like a theme with a gameplay mechanic and other things associated with it, it allows us to have like one really engaging seasonal quest line that manages to deliver on like a self-contained story that's going to guide the player through like, again, the mechanics and the themes of that season. So like these are still like really big events that are happening in the world of Sanctuary.
Notice how they said mechanics there? So that's going to be like certain things that maybe you'll have a buff to in that season, but after that season you won't have a buff like that because there's not going to be that type of mechanic in the game. Interesting.
Sanctuary,
again, just like Destiny.
Players going to be able to like step in the role of the Wanderer and like kind of go and help people and like and explore interesting mechanics.
Right. So you're not bound. The ideas around the season are not bound by the campaign. You're basically creating quest lines in the open world that can be completely different and completely. It's not constrained.
And it's also a way to kind
of
of do certain affinities and things like that.
Anything that's sort of interesting you want
So
to
like
into in the open world, right?
Absolutely. So
like
for
busting
example,
debuffs or
we
whatever,
have a
or
season
certain things.
theme for the first season, which again we will not be discussing today, folks. We're going to save
Correct.
season 1 to talk about a little bit later on.
Yeah, we plan on talking about season 1 after launch.
That's right. But let's say, for sake of argument, that the first season was the theme was about zombies.
Which it is not.
no, this is a false premise. Okay, let's just say for sake of argument that it was about zombies as the theme. That means that like things that be showing up in the battle pass might be related to some like zombie stuff. The season quest line might be about like the rising of zombies throughout Sanctuary. Like that, we try to make sure these things all feel connected. So the season quest line is going to introduce new characters, like great voice acting.
Definitely like
memorable
Bungie.
quests and experiences will guide the player through the season. And that's the way that we're looking at things.
And so then that also then, I feel like I'm doing your job actually. Am I doing your job? I apologize.
No, you're doing great.
Oh, thanks, Adam.
You're doing amazing.
Thank you for the daily affirmation. I'll
I'm
give
just
you
gonna
20
leave
bucks
now.
later. Sorry, I'm just curious. I think like when you think about the theme, that obviously goes beyond story construct, but also goes into the mechanics, like how you think about gameplay. Yes.
Absolutely. And that brings us to the next major thing that I want to discuss, which is fresh gameplay. This is when this is the great. Yes, so fresh gameplay.
And
so every season obviously will be introducing new
seasonal
story content,
changes,
Jerry described.
just like in every
And then
single
we want to
season of
introduce
Bungie.
new mechanics and gameplay for players to engage with over the course of that season. So this comes down to things like just new power for players to earn or ways to experience the growth of their character. Things are going to modify and change the way they're going to want to approach building their character every season. This goes beyond meta changes or like balance and tuning and things like that. It really come down to like just wholesale like new features and things that are going to be available for the duration of that season for players to experience. And then at the termination of the season, when the season is over, these sorts of features are going to be retired to be considered for again in the future if we like them or not. But for now, we want to make sure that we're kind of
Again,
maintaining
and this
certain
is a good
level
way for
of,
them to test
parity across the game. It's not
Blizzard
kind of creating
to
layers
test
of,
certain
like,
things
corrupt
in the
and
game.
distraction from
It's
the
a good
core
way
Diablo
for
experience
them
where it's supposed be very
to
well. So,
see
we're
if
really excited to
certain
talk about
mechanics
those
would
more
be
in the
really
future.
good.
We
Does
expect,
that give
exciting
enough
features
difficulty
and
but a
gameplay
fun
engagement,
factor to it?
monsters,
I think it's going to.
mechanics, things for players.
I think how they said it's a fresh gameplay. It's going to be a good way so that the gameplay doesn't get stale, and they want to avoid that. It sounds like. Because they want people to buy this game and play this game and keep wanting to play this game. And then when the expansions come out, spend more money on those expansions to keep playing. Very, very smart for
Craft
Blizzard. But
new, change
they're
their
really good
appearance,
at
change their
doing what they
skills.
do.
So we're really excited about that stuff in the future.
And then when you think about seasonal stuff, we talked about, when you look at, say, Diablo 3 has the chapters that you go through to get Hager's gift and those sorts of things. So there's a sense of progression through a season. And we've obviously talked about the Battle Pass and how the Battle Pass will be in our previous blog around this stuff as well. But it's good to clarify again. So when you think about not just like, okay, I have a seasonal narrative, I have a seasonal mechanic or gameplay hook now, but how do I think about progression within a season?
Sure. So, great question. So, when we're thinking about seasons, we want to make sure we are creating new opportunities for long-term progression. The first version of that we want to talk about really is the season journey, which does make a return from Diablo 3. So, inside the season journey, the player is going to have an opportunity to complete a number of different objectives that are tied to mechanics, story goals, or other things that are happening during the course of the season. I think we might actually have an image for the season journey we can maybe pull up as well that might help me explain some parts of this.
I think we hid the zombie stuff though, so there's no zombie.
There's no zombie stuff in this. Yes.
No
So,
zombies.
yes, please note the top secret labels for this because we realize there's no image we can show that doesn't start to give away some of the things we're doing in season 1. Too bad. You're gonna be able to talk more. We'll talk more about that.
Oh, look at
later
that.
on.
The levels
But
on
here
top.
in the season journey, players are gonna be able to complete a number of these objectives, as I already called out.
Large
Objectives
paper
are separated
drop.
into chapters. One of the big changes that we made as part of the season journey is we've ensured that now players don't need to actually complete every one of the objectives within a chapter in order to advance. They could choose to go back and still complete.
So if I go ahead.
Yeah, it's pretty different than if you're a player of Diablo 3 and you're going through season journey. If you remember, like going through each chapter required you to finish every single little bit of it before you could progress to another chapter. So
What's kind of funny, this kind of reminds me of Guardian ranks right now in Destiny 2 and how you have like certain things that you kind of progress. I'm not really sure what favor does. I don't know what that is. Maybe it's something that's some kind of currency maybe within the vendors that might be available. But that's funny. So you're going to be able to earn not only just titles or certain things, but like looks like gear because that looks like gear. That looks like an ability. So maybe you might be able to get specific abilities that unlock. And kind of what I mentioned, they're taking the idea of like the whole seasonal thing and taking the idea like, okay, we'll modify an ability for a rogue that's going to do a certain thing with the mechanics in that season for Diablo 4. And then whenever the season is done, this kind of alternative like trap that looks like a trap. It's a trap augment. This alternative trap augment will go away. You'll still have your regular trap, but it won't apply because the mechanic for that season is no longer going to be there, which is kind of like the equivalent of having like rotating weapon types to use in Destiny 2 for unstoppables, overloads, and like champions, basically, just in general. This is like a way for Diablo to do that, to keep the gameplay fresh, but also make it so like you keep wanting to play. But again,
This one, obviously,
Blizzard doing Blizzard,
a
man.
little different in how you kind of approach it, because you don't have to do every single thing. You can actually complete it beforehand by doing most of the objectives and kind of choosing specifically.
Yeah, like if I'm not a PvP player, I don't have to do the PvP objective to progress through the journey, right?
That's correct. If we have
So they're going to
objectives
give you
that we
options,
think
so
like the
you
fields
don't
of
have to
interest,
do
you
just
wouldn't have to go
PvE.
there and complete that
If you
one.
want to do
There'd be
mainly
other objectives
PvP.
associated with the season instead.
Got it.
So when you're going through and you're kind of completing the season journey, you're going to earn rewards for completing the objectives, and you'll also earn some big rewards at the end of each chapter, where you're going to get like packs of like crafting materials and items, and you can also unlock actual legendary aspects that go into your Codex of Power.
Oh, so that's what that was. Okay, so that wasn't an augment. It was a legendary aspect that you would get for your Codex of Power. That's super cool. So then it's a way for you, again, to encourage you to keep playing the game, play through the seasons.
A different set of aspects, in fact, will be available through the Codex of Power in this way. And some of the new legendary powers we add in every season will also be made available through this method. So you'll still be able to find them as item drops, of course, but you can start being able to experiment and play with them pretty early on through these drops. And then the last thing I think is worth talking about here is every time you complete one of these objectives, you're going to also be earning favor, which is a kind of an experience system that's used by the Battle Pass. But with that other way, so you get like little drops for completing the objectives, and big drops of that also from completing the chapters. But when it comes to long-term progression in the Battle Pass, like, Kaken, would you mind maybe walking us through some of how the Battle Pass works?
Yeah, absolutely. So I know there's been a lot of questions about Battle Pass, so let's talk through it today. So this is the seasons
Kind of
tab,
looks like
and
Destiny's.
This is going to be, the hub
No
for
big deal.
all things
Almost identical,
seasons.
actually.
Under that top secret label, you can see the season journey, and then at the bottom here, you can see the actual Battle Pass. And what you're seeing is a mix of the free tiers and the premium tiers of the Battle Pass. The way that you progress the Battle Pass is, like Joe
Blizzard's
mentioned,
really just taking
with,
that Bungie model
by
of
earning
seasons
favor.
and
And there's two sources of it.
Running with it.
You get it from the season journey, like Joe mentioned, but you also get it from leveling up and playing any seasonal character. So there's 3 levels of the Battle Pass. There's the free track, which, like the name implies, you don't have to pay for. Everybody has access to that. The premium track, which is roughly $10 US, depending on where you are in the world. And then there's the accelerated track, which is just like the premium track, but it has includes 20 tier skips. It's folks who might have gotten a late start and a special cosmetic, and that one is roughly $25 USD, depending on where you are in the world.
well, I got that as part of my
But
thing,
let's talk a little
so
bit more
it just
about
made sense
the
to get it.
free
It was
and premium
cost.
tracks. So the free track has 27 total tiers, and what you're primarily getting from the free track are what's called smoldering ashes. And the smoldering ashes are going to be like the currency that you use to unlock seasonal blessings.
Right here for these.
So the seasonal blessings are different buffs you can get that will
Whoa.
help accelerate your progress through the season. So you can see, for example, here, plus 3%.
That's
to
going to be
XP
huge
earned.
for
That's going
seasons.
to help players, level up again, level up multiple characters, and all of these are really just meant to help players through that seasonal progression, through that seasonal.
This
journey.
could be really strong too,
It's
though.
important to note, though,
This,
that
I mean, all of these
you-
are good.
you know,
Wonder what this
there
probably.
is a secondary level requirement on every free tier of the Battle Pass that contains smoldering ashes.
Next
So, for
smoldering is
example,
unlocked at
if
tier
you
8,
were
character
level
level 10
1
required.
and you bought, a bunch of tier skips and hadn't played yet, you wouldn't be able to access the smoldering ashes and spend them until you had actually leveled up a character and met those level requirements. And this is to prevent folks from buying a ton of tier skips and keep everybody on a level playing ground. So that is.
I had a question about that actually. So there are no smoldering ashes available in the premium track of the Battle Pass, right?
That is absolutely correct. It is that all the things that affect gameplay are only in the free track.
Okay.
And so then basically we've said it's always cosmetic based. So there's no, you can't pay for power in Diablo 4 because as you saw, the stuff, the season blessings are on the free track, and they have a level requirement, so you actually have to play to get to a certain point. So
Right.
it keeps everybody in a level playing field.
Right. You may
Especially
not,
when the
see
leaderboards come out.
power in Diablo 4. So yeah, let's talk about next the premium track. So like I mentioned, $10 USD, depending on where you are in the world, and this contains 63 total reward tiers. So you add that to the 27 from the free track, you get the 90 total tiers,
90 tiers.
in the battle pass. Yes, there is a ton of value in that premium track. So you get 2 full armor sets for every class, and they're really themed to the season.
Yo. That's going to be sick. The cosmetics alone would be worth. I mean, let's be honest. The true end game in any like live game that has an end game, it's cosmetics. Come on, transmogging, Destiny, it's all about the drip. World of Warcraft, yeah, it's about gearing, but it's also about the drip. I mean, let's be honest. It always comes down to the drip. Let's be honest.
And they're meant to be like a celebration of that season's theme. And there's other stuff in there. There's the seasonal mount. There's the seasonal mount armor, which you can see here on this screen.
Right there,
And
seasonal
then
mount.
there's just like a bunch of fun other little
Emotes,
cosmetics,
looks
like
like.
role-playing clothing. For example, we have like a big, pair of white bloomers in there. So there's lots of fun stuff to find in the battle pass.
I know that's what I wear when I role play.
I think that's actually a really fun idea, though. So like, it's not necessarily like big armor or things, but just more other stuff. So if you want to like play a particular role, like there's
Yeah.
options for some of that stuff that you'll find.
And
in
you
the
can
free
mix
track.
and match all of it. So, you can create all kinds of ways to express yourself.
What's nice is that you just said there's 90 tiers, and a season is 3 months, right? So you have quite a lot of time. You have essentially 120 days to do 90 tiers. It
Most
seems
everybody's going to be doing that in like 2
doable.
Yeah,
weeks.
we want it to be achievable.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. 3 weeks. Let's say 3 weeks.
I want to call it one thing also. Then we were looking at that
Probably
image
2 weeks.
before. There's that top secret label on the left.
Yeah.
Like that is that is explicitly a link that will bring you to some part of the season journey as well. The only reason it says top secret there is because it's got language in there that I do not want to make sure that anyone is able to read to give away what's happening in season 1.
Exactly.
Otherwise,
Dude, the
people
seasonal
know.
armor is going to be
Otherwise,
dope.
we'll know
Look at that. The mount armor,
Zombie
too.
season, Ron.
You use the example, Joe. That's on you. That's
I was
not on
just
me.
trying to pick something, okay? I'll say something. Season of the circus next time, whatever. So actually could be kind of cool, like a devilish circus sort of feel. All right, I'll talk to people
Scary
about that.
clowns.
It's scary
Scary
clowns,
clowns.
yeah, for sure. So yeah, okay, cool. Yeah, it's nice to get a little more information on the battle pass, like out there.
Right. And so, okay, so we talked about progression.
Yeah.
We talked about both in the season journey and in the awesome battle pass. And so now when we think about what the seasons also provide is like, obviously, we're hearing about balance. We're going to be hearing about,
Yeah.
hey, how do we improve people's experience based on what we saw in the previous season? And actually, before we get into that, if I can interject, I'll steal one of your questions from Q&A. Can I do that?
Go right ahead.
Oh yeah, all right.
So one of the things that comes up, I get a lot on my Twitter feed is around, hey, how do I think about, Diablo 3 seasons, Kagan said it earlier about like your seasonal character, that notion of do I have to re-roll to get into and experience the season and experience the narrative wrapper, to experience the mechanics, to experience the progression. Basically, do I have to start a new character?
Yeah, so Diablo 4 is balanced around the idea of trying to make sure that level up experience from 1 to 100 is really engaging and fun, and very punchy when items drop for you, that your power progression feels a certain way as you play. So you do, as a result of that, we do balance around the idea of playing over the course of a quarter character, right? You can play a lot longer than that if you want, absolutely.
Right.
We want to make sure it feels really good to play inside that 9-day period. We are going to be having players like re-roll and make new characters with every new season, and be able to experience the growth of their character over the course of each of those quarters.
And I think you might have said it, but just because you talk really fast, I want to make sure it's really clear.
How dare you? No one has ever said that about me.
I'm
once.
a fast talker and you beat me. So the notion around, though, that you basically have to complete the campaign at least once before you can truly experience the season, right?
Yeah, that's true. Actually, there's a couple things that so once you unlock a couple things, you'll have them for your account from that point forward. And I can just kind of maybe just
Yeah,
throw all
go
that
right
in
ahead.
now.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, we get so many questions about it. I think it'd be good if we clear it
Yeah,
out.
sure. So first thing is, when you complete the campaign on any character, whether you're playing in the hardcore mode of the game or the normal mode of the game, no matter what difficulty of the game that you're playing and you beat the campaign on, from that point forward, every character that you make, you're going to have the option to skip the campaign as part of playing that character. So if you play the campaign as part of the this pre-season period before season 1 begins, and you finish it, when you start playing in Season 1, you can choose to skip the campaign as part of your playthrough, which means you get to experience the new seasonal content right away. Otherwise, you can still choose to play through the campaign in Seasons, but you'll need to finish the campaign content before the seasonal content is going to begin for you. So just things to think about as you play.
So
that's
everybody's
the
going to
first thing
skip it,
kind of
basically.
an account level unlock for your character as you play.
Right.
The second is when you're playing through the campaign, you're going to reach a point in the story where you're going to unlock your first horsey. And when you get your first horsey,
horsies.
horses. And once you unlock your first horsey, you're then going to have the ability to basically mount up with every one of your characters from that point forward, including characters you might have already rolled at that point. Having unlocked it once, you've got that as an account level achievement effectively for yourself. You'll be able to start like
future seasons even. I can
Yeah,
just
future
like start a new
seasons.
character, gotta
That's
get my
right.
horsey.
Level 1, after skipping the campaign or even playing through the campaign in the following season, you're gonna be able to like just go ahead and mount up right away.
Nice.
Horses in my cave.
That's super nice.
Yeah, your horsey, yes, the horsey that died is then going to immediately revive and then you're able to play with the horse right away.
Zombies.
Oh my God!
Spoiler!
We have shown the video. People know. Okay. Honestly though, if I spoiled that moment, then I do deeply apologize, and we should put spoiler warnings on
I
these
think that
things.
Kagan brought up like zombie horses now is theme specific. I think that leans right into that seasonal theme.
Yeah,
Pivoting.
yeah, absolutely.
3 weeks before lunch.
Yeah, sure. Sound off in the comments if you want zombie season. Let's hear it. Okay, so that's the second thing. You'll have access to your mount that you unlock. And then the last thing is that there's as you're playing through the as you probably played as part of like the open betas that we've done, and we'll see again in SummerSlam. You'll find these altars of Lola throughout the world.
Server Slam.
What did I say?
SummerSlam. He did say SummerSlam.
Okay.
Server Slam.
Completely a slip, everybody. It has nothing to do with SummerSlam. So yeah, during the Server Slam, wow, I really did, didn't I? So during the Server Slam, you're gonna be finding.
All right. That's pretty much where I started watching it whenever we originally did it. Okay, cool. So we should be good. All right, everybody. That's going to be it for me. I just wanted to stream a little bit. I didn't realize this death thing was going to come up, but I kind of want to make a YouTube video about it. So we'll probably end the stream there. Again, more than likely, I will be taking off tomorrow since we're going to be streaming all weekend Tears of the Kingdom. I decided I'm going to play it on my Switch, so that means we won't start the stream until later in the day on Friday, unless by some stroke of luck that my package comes in early, then we'll play early. As soon as I get the package, I'm going to start streaming. I might get on just a little bit before. Last time, unfortunately, when I ordered a collector's edition for Resident Evil 4, it didn't come till Saturday, which fucking sucked. So hopefully that won't be the case, but either way, hope you have a good rest of your day. Thanks for the new follow, Clitafina. Clitafina? Like Aquafina? Clitafina. Thank you for the new follow on Twitch. Really appreciate it. Look out for that YouTube video. I'll probably have that out here in a few hours. Just kind of my thoughts on here. Again, it's really crazy on how so much they're building their seasons, kind of like how Destiny 2 does it. But if you really think about it, Diablo 3 had their seasons before Destiny had their seasons, I think. So maybe Destiny took it from Diablo 3. I don't know. Either way, hope you have a good rest of your day, everybody. Stay spicy out there, and I will see y'all, if anything, on Friday when we're going to be playing some Tears of the Kingdom. I hope y'all are ready. It's going to be a long stream. I plan on Friday, just as a heads up, I'm going to play most of the day. I'm probably going to take a couple of hours off around 6 o'clock, and then we'll come back later that night and play again, stream for another few hours. But we're going to be streaming a lot Saturday, most of Saturday. Same thing with Sunday. And then Monday through Friday, as soon as I get off work, I'm just going to start streaming, and we're just going to play. We're just going to be playing Tears of the Kingdom. New season of Destiny 2 is on the 23rd. We'll be checking that out. And then June 6th, Diablo 4, y'all. We are literally right around the corner. We're so close. Anyways, have a good rest of your day, everybody. Stay spicy out there. I'll see y'all later. Bye.